Tennessee Titans that I want to see in Madden 22. You guys see the players on the screen here. We'll go over them, and then we will go ahead and go over some guys that we haven't seen last year, year before, in a while. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into it. Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is D-Man coming back at it again with another YouTube video, and today, more exciting video, Madden related. So, what I want to talk about today is some Tennessee Titans that I would like to see in Madden 22, whether they were in the game last year, the year before, or they haven't been in Madden in a long time. So that being said, we'll start off here, which pretty much gets a good bit of players out the way pretty early. Now, 3 of the 5 guys we see on the screen here are in Madden 21 with Steve McNair, Eddie George, and also Javon Curse. 2 of the 5 were in the game 2 years ago. So in Madden 20, I don't know if you want to say 2 years or 1 year, but whatever. In Madden 20, we had CJ2K, and we also had Keith Bullock. But we did not see Steve McNair, Eddie George, or Javon Curse in Madden 20. That was a pretty bad year, not gonna lie, guys. If we don't have Steve McNair, Eddie George, or Javon Curse in Madden, that's a pretty bad year. But what I'd like to see is all 5 of these guys be in the game next year. That would just make my freaking whole year next year. If we could have Steve McNair, Eddie George, CJ2K, Keith Bullock, and also Javon Curse in Madden 22. But not only do I have these guys, I have some other guys that I'd like to get into. So let's go ahead and do so. I'm going to get out of here, and we'll go over to my first couple players. It's Keith Bullock. Obviously, we just went over him. I'd love to see him back in the game. He was in the game in Madden 22, or excuse me, in Madden 20 as a Team Diamond, so which is more of a fan favorite player, which he could possibly be that in Madden 22. But he could possibly be a legend. He also got a legend card in Madden 20 as well. So who knows about that? Maybe we see him, maybe we don't. Hopefully we do. But yeah, Keith Bullock right there. Next up, we got Frank Wycheck. Now, Frank Wycheck was in the game way back in Madden 16, Madden 15-ish, something like that, as an Ultimate Legend. So if we see Frank Wycheck, that would be awesome, because we didn't have the best tight ends this year. I think our best tight end was Jared Cook, and then we had Jonnu Smith, and then we had who was our third tight end? It was a pretty bad player. I think it was gosh, I can't even think of him. It was like a team of the week player. Anyway, Frank Wycheck. I would love to see him back in the game. Again, like I said, we saw him in Madden 15, Madden 16. I can't remember which year it was. But yeah, Frank Wycheck. Would love to see him back in the game. Next up, we have Earl Campbell. So I might title this video Titans/Oilers. But who knows at this point. I might just title it Titans and throw Earl Campbell in here. Another guy, I think I have him on the... maybe not... is Warren Moon. I might or might not. I might have forgotten to put him on here, but Earl Campbell is another guy I would love to see in the game. I believe he was in the game Madden 19, I want to say. So, man, if we could just have either 2 of the 3 that I mentioned, Earl Campbell, Eddie George, and Chris Johnson. Now, talking about Chris Johnson, he did have his legal issues, so that's another situation that has to be handled. I don't know if it's been handled already. But hopefully it has. They can, figure out a way to get him in the game. I would love to see it happen, because Chris Johnson is just such a fun player to have in the game. I believe he was like the first 99 speed guy in Madden 20 when he got that blitz card, on a theme team, I should say. I think he had 94 speed, then powered up to 95, and then on a theme team he had 99 speed. But I think in Madden 22 they're doing it a little bit differently. They're not going to have any of those, physical chems, which I actually like. Early on in the year, people were already having guys that had 95, 96 speed, and I wish they could tone that back a little bit and, make the game last a little bit longer, if you guys get what I'm saying there. So I do like the removal of the physical chems where you get the +2 speed with sprinter and all that stuff. But we'll just have to wait and see how all that stuff looks when we get to, the preview of the, Madden Ultimate Team. But yeah, Earl Campbell. If we can get 2 of the 3, Eddie George, Earl Campbell, or CJ2K, that would be awesome, because then we would have 3 fantastic backs with Derrick Henry, whether it be Earl Campbell, Eddie George, whether it be Earl Campbell, CJ2K, whether it be Eddie George or CJ2K. That would be phenomenal. 3-back package, that would be awesome. But yeah, Earl Campbell's another guy. And then we also have Derek Mason, who actually was in Madden 20. So he was actually a team diamond just like Keith Bulluck. So we get 2 team diamonds per year. He was a 95 overall team diamond. Keith Bulluck was earlier in the year, the very first drop of content, right when Madden 20 dropped. He was in the game. Keith Bulluck, I believe, was like an 87, I want to say. And then he got a couple cards throughout the year, and then he eventually got a golden ticket, which is pretty cool to see. But Nate Washington, we'll get into him in a second. But Derek Mason, he is a guy that also got a team diamond. He got the later team diamond, which was a 95 overall, and I'd love to see him back in the game. A lot of these guys are team diamond possibilities or chances, but some of these guys that obviously all these guys aren't going to be in the game, so they're going to have to, EA Madden, they're going to have to figure out, who they want to go ahead and choose to be the Titans team diamond. I'm just kind of giving them a couple options out here. Obviously, I'd like to see someone new, which is, all right, Samari Roll. The next guy we have is Samari Roll. I was going to go ahead and mention Kyle Vanden Bosch and get him out the way. But yeah, Vanden Bosch actually made a video earlier this year talking about Madden Titans players that I wanted to see in Madden 21 for the rest of the year. I believe that was made maybe in December, January, February, somewhere in there. And then a couple months later, we got a Kyle Vanden Bosch team diamond, who was a 98 overall, powered up to 99. That was super cool to see. So maybe they're listening to us. Maybe they're EA's watching my videos. Doubt it, but hey, it's a possibility, because Kyle Vanden Bosch, that's a very interesting pick there for the Titans, and he was actually picked and he was in my video, so that was pretty cool to see. Even though I wanted Samari Roll a little bit more than Vanden Bosch, we got Vanden Bosch. But we'll get back to Samari Roll here. Again, Vanden Bosch, I wouldn't want to see him in Madden 22 just because we just saw him in Madden 21, but hey, who knows. Anyway, Samari Roll, I do believe he is a high possibility for him to get a team diamond, because we saw Drew Bennett and Kyle Vanden Bosch this year. We saw Keith Bulluck and Derek Mason the year before that. Samari Roll was another guy that I think he might get our team diamond. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to call it right now. I say he does get either the early one or the later one. I think he gets either or. Maybe a Blaine Bishop too would be pretty cool too. I don't think I have him in this one, but let's go ahead and move on to the next couple players I have. All right, guys, so the next couple of players I'm going to mention are probably their only possibility of getting a card in the game is going to be through the Team Diamond promo, because they're not big-time names. For example, we have Carl Klug here, who wasn't he wasn't a crazy, insane, great player, but he definitely was one of the Titans fan favorites for us. So that's why I threw him on the list. But yeah, there's Carl Klug, and we'll get into the next couple here. So next up, we have David Stewart. So David Stewart, again, one of the, we have had our offensive linemen in Tennessee Titan history have been some of the greatest ever. We have Bruce Matthews. We've had Kevin Mawai. If you want to go back even further, Mike Munchak. I'm trying to think, anyway, you can throw David Stewart on that list if you want to, and I you can't argue. Anyway, he's also a possibility to get a Team Diamond card. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I honestly, I wouldn't be mad at it, because well, I don't know, because normally our line is pretty solid. We normally get the Steve Hutchinson, and obviously Bruce Matthews, Kevin Mawai. So having another offensive lineman, I guess I wouldn't mind it, but hey, it could go elsewhere. But yeah, he's an option. Also, next up, we have, man, good old Nate Washington, who I actually mistakenly said for Derek Mason earlier. But anyway, Nate Washington here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him for a team diamond again. It depends, because we had the Titans this year. We had, I don't remember if this was consistent for all the team diamonds, but 2 years ago we got an offensive player and a defensive player. This year we got an offensive player and a defensive player. So I don't know if that was consistent through every team diamond. It might not have, but I don't think it was, because I'm thinking of the Steelers right now. I think they got, I believe they got the fast running back, and they also had Heath Miller too. So that was two offensive players. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, Nate Washington, I was just trying to think of that, because maybe Samari Roll, Nate Washington, something like that. That combination I wouldn't mind that. I really do want to see Samari Roll in Madden 22. So EA, if you're watching this, make it happen for me. Make it happen for all of us, because I'm sure we'd all like to see Samari Roll. Plus, we had an issue at cornerback this year, not having the greatest cornerbacks in the game. But hopefully we get a Cortland Finnegan power-up expansion soon. I don't know. But the game's pretty much already over. But hey, hopefully that happens. Anyway, Nate Washington on the list as well. I believe this is our last player. It is going to be Jason Jones, who was not a very, very fantastic player for us. I know his image is a little small here. We can zoom in just a tad bit. But Jason Jones, who had, I think one year he had over 10 tackles for loss, which was very, very high. Now, I think it was him and about 4 other Titans had that, with like Jarrell Casey and a couple other guys as well. But he was a guy that was a fan favorite. A lot of people liked Jason Jones, and he's another possibility there. Again, I'm naming a lot of I shouldn't say a lot, but a couple defensive ends, D tackles. That's gonna do it. That's the full list there. I believe it is. Let me make sure here. Yeah, that's going to be it. That's the full list. Jason Jones is going to round it out. So, in my opinion, you know what? Let me know down below who you guys would like to see out of the players that I named today, or if there are some players that I missed out. Obviously, Warren Moon, I mentioned him. I forgot to put him on the list, but hey, I'm mentioning him right now. But yeah, Warren Moon is another guy. Probably would be a legend instead of a team diamond, which would be exciting. Hopefully Steve McNair, Eddie George come back as legends. Same with Javon Curse. CJ2K, if he does come back in the game, might get a promo card. You also have Keith Bullock. That's going to be a stretch there. Don't know if he'll be back in the game. But yeah, there's a lot of players that are possibilities to be back in the game or returning from way back when. So, in my opinion, for my 2 team diamonds for next year that I would like to see, it would probably be 100% Samari Roll. I would love to see him back in the game, one of my favorite Titans ever. And especially with our cornerback, not being the best in the past couple Maddens, that would help us out there. So Samari Roll is one of my guys. And then we'll go offensively. We won't double up on defense. Offensively, let's see. Man, I don't know. I want to say CJ2K, but I feel like he would be more of a promo card instead of a team diamond. So let's see. Who do we want to go with here? We could go with Nate Washington. We could go with Derek Mason. We could go with David Stewart. Interesting. I'll go ahead and say David Stewart. Who I would want it to be, I wouldn't mind Nate Washington. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I really wouldn't mind any offensive players I'll mention, guys. So if I had to go ahead and predict who we're going to get, I'll say David Stewart and Samari Roll, and I would be very, very happy with those 2 picks there. So with that being said, that is going to do it for the video. Again, let me know down below some Titans Oilers that you would like to see. Obviously, Earl Campbell as well. He would probably come back as a legend, not a team diamond. We mentioned him earlier. And yeah, trying to think of anyone else I can remember or think of. that I might have forgot. Maybe Mike Munchak. I did mention him, but he wasn't on the list. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, y'all let me know down below who you guys would like to see back in the game. Titans/Oiler players that you would like to see back in the game for Madden 22. And I hope they do go all out this year for every team and bringing a lot of guys back. Obviously, if they have their rights. But I would love to see a lot of guys back in the game that haven't been in the game for a while, because this is really the first Madden that's all about next gen. Because like this year, next gen, the consoles came out in December, so it was already kind of halfway through. You know, so this game is going to be all about the next gen console. So hopefully they can go all out and bring a lot of players back that haven't been in the game for a while, or, you know, bring back some guys that were in the game last year and more. So with that being said, like I said down below, let me know down below some of the guys you'd like to have back in the game, and some of the returning players that you'd like to have back in the game as well. So with that being said, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and until next time, I'll see y'all.